In this video, we're going to show you how to make this Snowflake Snowman candle mat. Pattern's $2 and it's just a lot of fun. The snowflake is paper pieced and then it's seamed here with the snowman bodies and little embellishings added, and it just turns out darling. I hope you enjoy this video. Now the snowflake is paper pieced, and because there are two, a left and a right, that go together. One has this extra white down the middle, and that's how you get the white backbone to the snowflake, and then one doesn't, and then those two are going to go together. So it's just paper piecing. You kind of need to know how to paper piecing. All your fabric is put on this unprinted side, and all of your sewing is done with the printed side up. Now I'm going to show you a couple of tricks with this paper piecing with snowflakes. Now I've got a pretty good quality white, but when I fold it out, the dark background shows through, and that's a problem with paper piecing because I can't press the dark to the light, and so it's going to show. So in solution to that, I will do a little bit larger seam left over. So when I place the fabric, I move it over a little bit, and then I'm going to keep the white and undercut the dark, and that way when it folds back, I've got that thicker white, and I'm not showing all the blue through. Now the other thing with this little snowflake is I press every little seam because there's so many seams that cross, and you've got to have sharp seams. And then the other thing, because there are so many sections, I do them all together. So I place all my number ones, all my number twos, and I just do it all together so that it's not so laborious. I don't have to say, oh, this is blue, this is white, or whatever. I'm doing all of ones that are blue and all of, that kind of thing. Now, after the finished paper piecing, I cut on the middle line and on the sides, top and bottom, so that I could align them top and bottom and down the middle. I didn't cut the rest out. And then I'm going to put them right sides together. And so 1/4 inch, you can, whatever you sew, make sure it's consistent, but it needs to be 1/4 inch or smaller, and then it becomes one piece. Then once it's one piece, I'm going to layer it with batting, and make sure your snowflake print, which is hard to see, is right side up, right? And then I'm going to put this down. It'll be seamed right sides together, and then I'll sew on the solid line that will shape it and cut on the dash line. I'm going to keep this part up here open. The other thing I've noticed is when you're sewing up here, make sure you back stitch because it will open up on you a little bit. All right, then once that's done, we're going to turn them right side out. We're going to take the pattern that's provided for you and mark it with a pencil. Exact. It's pretty easy to see. Might be harder to see where it ends, so it's nice to have a whole line to sew on. Put two together with the snowflake solid together. Sew it. You can back stitch, and then it will open up for the bottom part of the body of the snowman. Now to make the head, again, I've placed the Xerox pattern on top of 2 pieces of fabric, right sides together, then polyester bonded batting. Sew on the solid line, cut on the outside dash line. Then you're going to take the paper out, and I'm going to just slit one layer of fabric and turn it right side out through that opening so that the whole thing is rounded and gorgeous. Okay, now I go like this until I know I've just got one layer of fabric. Go back and forth until you only have one layer, because it's not fun to cut 2 layers and you have to start over. And then that will go here. You can whip stitch this part closed if you want, and then that little head's going to go up here, and then we'll show you how to embellish the snowman. We'll get all 6 parts together and it's going to turn out great. Okay, let's finish this little quilt up. I've whip stitched this closed. I turned under 1/4 inch to finish off the center hole. Then I've whip stitched all my little heads closed. To do the scarf, this is about 12 inches, but you could probably do it with 10, because it's just, I need all that space to make the overhead knot. It's just one overhand knot, just one like that. And then I want the loop to be long enough to go across the neck like this. It's about a little less than 1 inch. And then I'm gonna trim these to the size I want, spread them out like that and trim them down. And then I like to take matches and just singe the edges so they don't fray. Just be careful you don't get burned. Then seed beads, 06 black, and I use these little pom-poms. They're just so cute. They're like 1/4 inch pom-poms. Then on the hat, it's the dimensions are in your pattern. You're just gonna sew the sides and then turn it so that the seam is on the inside. Bring the raw edges together, and then you're just going to, with I did zigzag so that it wouldn't fray, but you don't have to zigzag. Then you're just going to do big stitches around and close the top. Go, after you close the top, go across it several times. Then you're going to turn that inside out so that all of that's down on the other side, and sew pom-pom to the top, and then the rim is turned under like that. And then that'll fit just right. Just tack it to the top of the head, another pom-pom, and 3 more seed beads, and this just turns out so cute. That's how easy it is. A little bit of handwork, a little bit of embellishing, but this just comes out darling, and I hope this video's helped.